Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we'll see how we can open the web browser in the client side, and we can also redirect to the URL that is sent from the server. So in the previous lecture, we saw how we can open the message prompt from this command, and we just pass that into the client side and client executed it from this shop process module. So for now we have to make the command in order to send that from this server to the client. So what we are going to do here is in the send command, because this is where we can send the command. So here after the message we will write another command that is going to send the send signal to the client side. So now what I'm going to do is, of this string choice that is given by the server, I'll just extract that third part, basically only the command part, and if that command part is --o, that means we have to open the site. And the same as before, we'll just see the length of this string choice is greater or not, because we have to also give the website name after this command. So if this is greater than 3, so what I really mean is I have to get command like this, that is --o, and after that we have to pass some website, maybe google.com. so this will be our complete command. So now what you need to do is we have to make the site. So I'll just say fetch the site that we want to give, and I'll just give with this site information, because we have to just notify that this is the site. And now I'll just get the string choice that is sliced with the 4 part, because this is from where our www.google.com starts, that is from this 4th index. So it should be from 4, not end with the 4, it should be started with the 4. So next thing is obviously to send this message, and this should be done. Let me just typecast it first, and I'll just say string dot encode, because you have to encode it before sending to the client. And we want to just send this string site or string, okay, it should be site. And now we have done everything. In the case of the server, we have sent this site command to the client. Now let's go to the client and make our command to execute. So here what you need to do is simply, first of all, check if that is the site or not. So after this message we'll just check elif, and I'll just say if that string data, which is str data, this str data, and let's fetch the data that is sent from this 4th index, and if that is the site, okay, every time. So if that is the site, then what you are going to do is you are going to open the web browser. So before that we have to import that web browser module. So let's see we have imported or not. So we have not imported, so let's import it. So it should be web browser. Let's go down here again to that part, and here after we just check if that is the site command that is sent from the server, we have to use that web browser. And I'll just say get now, that is basically fetching the web browser. And after that we have to open that site. So there is a command, open command, that will just open that site, and in this case the site will be str data that is sent from the user. And after this 4th index, that should begin with the 4th index. Let me just close this first. Let me just close our open command, and that's it. We have closed, or basically we have made a program that will open the site on the web browser. So let's save this first, and let's go back to the Kali Linux and run this listener first, that is the backdoor. I'll just say stop and rerun. Let's go over here. It is listening on the port 4444, and let's save this file first. Let me close this and run my cmd again. Let me just navigate to that path, and that is my desktop where this file is, and our file name is backdoor.py. so if I hit enter, this will just activate. Let's go here, then it is saying connection established. Let me list it out. You can see here, let me just say I want to interact, which is basically selecting a connection of ID 0. Then you will see you are connected to this IP address. Now you can see the type selection. So now we are not going to do yum, but instead we are going to say O, which is to open site. And let me say I want to open google.com. so let me hit enter. Let's go back, and here it is opening the google.com. you can clearly see over here. So let me just close it one more time. Let me close it. Let's go back to our Kali Linux, and let's see, this time I want to execute the same command, but let me say bing.com. let me just execute it. Let's go back to our Windows machine. It has executed over here. You could see that it has executed, it has opened us bing.com. so this is the way to execute the command, and it is also listening it here. So what you can do is simply close that connection and terminate loop here. So you can do something like, let me say, if you want the message again to be sent, and if you say something like hello, and let's go back to our here, and you could see the message popping out. It is also not showing that message. You can just format that over here. So next thing what you can do in the next upcoming lecture, basically we'll just cover that in the next lecture. So we are going to just make a payload that will just make this lock for this client, and basically we'll also see the screenshot part. So that will be covered in the upcoming lecture. See you in the next one.